And today I'm going to be doing a very easy special effects makeup look for Halloween. It's we're going to be artificially aging yourself. It's super easy. You're only going to need several shades of brown matte eyeshadow, something slightly darker than your skin tone eyeshadow, something slightly lighter than your skin tone. If you can get your hands on a white eyeliner, that would also be great. And then you just need blending brushes of various thicknesses. Sorry, I've got a kitten right here. So I've got a normal blending brush. I've got a sort of more tapered, detailed blending brush. I got one smaller than that. I got one smaller than that. And then I got a tiny one. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to accentuate the shadows of my face and brighten the highlights. Okay, so step one is to start with the shadows. So I'm going to take my tiny brush that I have cleaned off mostly. Start with clean brushes. I'm going to pack some dark brown onto that because this is much darker than my skin tone. This is like a natural shadow shade. And then all I'm going to do is I'm going to make a bunch of faces. So, and then in this crevice is where I'm going to lay down that dark brown. And in this crevice is where I'm going to lay down that dark brown. And I'm just going to do that over and over and over again for every single forced wrinkle and forced fold I can do until all of the shadows are down. So you can see I've started to do the sort of smile lines around my mouth, or the sort of this part. And so when I close my mouth, you can't really see the shadow I put down, but now you can. And this is a makeup look that looks crazy and like it's not working until you're done, until you put the highlights on. So you start with the shadows first and then work your way bright. If you have a very dark skin tone, of course you're not going to be doing sort of the shades of brown that I'm using. You're going to go darker than your skin tone, as dark as you can. Let me do some more and then I'll show you another update. I'm actually going in with a slightly smaller brush to do the darkest, and then I'm using the one I was using before to go in and sort of blend these out. So now I go in with this slightly larger one and I kind of just buff those lines out a little bit. Again, this is all gonna look completely insane until you are more finished with the makeup. Just go with it. Keep making faces. Keep putting stuff on your face. I already see this is making me look older. The other thing is to make lots of different faces. Get every single fold and increase and wrinkle that you can come up with. So don't just scale, do all the weird stuff to make all the lines come out. Really, all you're doing is just defining the shadows more. So it looks like there's more skin than there actually is. Again, it's gonna look crazy for a really long time. Now that the deepest shadows are down, I'm going to go over those with a slightly lighter brown that is still darker than my skin tone. We're just giving those a little bit of depth and dimension, as well as kind of blurring them out just a little bit so they seem just a little less intense. And more like natural shadows. Again, make those faces. And the lines around the mouth are actually really important. I think those are the ones that can kind of age the most, as well as the jowls. Rock that double chin. Yeah, girl. Get it. Get it, girl. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Now with the big fluffy brush, I'm going to go in and I'm going to try to make it look like my eyes are more sunken in. So I'm both going to use a warm toned brown and maybe some gray to really sort of give it that very old, very sunken in, unhealthy look. Now I'm going to go in and I'm going to go in with like kind of a grayish purple. And I'm going to sort of make the under eye even more cool toned than it is right now. Ow, that went in my eye. So I'm just mixing like a brown gray and a light lavender gray. Sort of really make those look just horrible. Just horrible. Really, it's like the opposite of doing your makeup. Like anything you would do for like fashion makeup, you're doing essentially the opposite with this look. Without cleaning off this fluffy brush, I'm going to go through, I'm just going to sort of buff out a lot of these lines just to make them feel more natural and less blunt. You can sort of mess with this forever. You don't want to lose this shadow though. You still want to be able to see those individual pockets of, I don't know why I changed my voice when I did this, but you want to be able to see those individual pockets of. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a white eyeliner pen, and where I want the most extreme highlights, where I want to really make the shadows fall back even further, I'm going to put a little bit of this white there, and then I'm going to buff that out with a lighter color. So like for right here, like the jowl, right? I really want that shadow to stand out, and it looks even worse when what essentially would be the high point of the jowl is highlighted. So that's what I'm going to do for all of these. I'm going to go through and I'm just going to make these a lot worse by adding some highlight, and then I'm going to go through and buff out those highlights. It's going to be a little harder to do that on the eye. I need to think about how I'm going to approach that one for a second. Okay, and then there. And then in these lines, we can sort of make crow's feet look even worse. And then sort of like highlight here to make them, right, like we're sort of making the socket come forward as opposed to just putting in the shadows. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a fluffy brush, go in with a lighter color, and I'm basically going to try to buff this out. I don't want to muddy up these colors. I'm not trying to mix them together. I'm trying to bring high points forward, like the top of a wrinkle, and I'm trying to bring so that the shadows will fall even further back. So, here, right, we want to highlight this. We want to highlight here and here. And, make that sort of shade out a little bit more. I'm just going to work on this for like a while. And you see, I messed up. That's where I put down the white. But now I tried to shade around it and the white was sticky, so it picked up all the shading colors. So now it looks like I got this weird crest right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to turn all of this into a big bag. So I'm going to have to go in and re-shadow around here and kind of try to match it over here. And then go in and re-highlight. The other thing is I have some white foundation. This could possibly be the worst decision I ever make here, but in order to sort of very lightly add in some highlights in very controlled areas, places where, like if I was painting, I would be dry brushing. So I'm not going into the shadow itself, I'm going over where the natural crease is, so that the high points are highlighted and the shadows stay shadows. You see how that just like makes the jowls look worse? Now it's just going to be about going through and blending those through so that it looks less like makeup and more natural. And now for some final touches, I'm going to go gray in the hair. Oh no! With just a little bit of gray spray paint and some white highlights, you'll look like your grandmother. So yeah, that's basically it. Then this is a little closer to dead than it is old, but it works at night. So this took me like a total of maybe half an hour. I had most materials on hand. I think the most expensive thing was just a can of gray spray paint for my hair. So if you need a quick and easy costume for Halloween, this is a great place to start, particularly if you want to get into SFX, but you are not sure if you want to commit that kind of cash. A couple eyeshadows, couple brushes, can't spray paint, you're good to go. Happy Halloween, y'all. Have a good time, and stay young at heart. Hi, everybody. It is Fred's turn to come out and play and get antiquated with the outside world. If you are very confused about why I look like this, I just recorded an SFX video for YouTube. You can go to my YouTube channel and figure out how to do it. It's actually a pretty simple look. All you have to do is... Hello, everybody. It is Fred's turn to come out and explore. I know I look different. It's okay. So this is a Halloween special SFX look I did on my YouTube channel. Go over there to figure out how, and